The pursuit of destruction is sometimes due to the rage and anger. Fueled by anger and capable of causing massive destruction wherever they go. The pursuit of destruction can be seen as a manifestation of inner rage and frustration, as well as their struggle to control the power that they possess. Hulk from the Marvel Universe and Doomsday from the DC Universe embodied this pursuit of destruction. Now we will analyze their powers, strength and abilities to find out who would win in a one-on-one battle. The child of an abusive father, Bruce Banner grew up shy and introverted, yet a scientific genius. As a young man, thanks to his standout work in the field of nuclear physics, he attracted the attention of the U.S. Army, who wanted to adapt his theories for weaponry. Banner resisted such notions, but failed attempts at landing steady work convinced him to accept a position at a federal nuclear research facility at a missile base in the New Mexico desert. At the base, Banner was befriended by Betty Ross, daughter of General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, a man who took an instant disliking to the diminutive, passive scientist. While at the base, Banner began to develop and build a bomb that utilized a high concentration of gamma radiation, a project of high interest to an undercover foreign agent stationed there. When a teenager named Rick Jones wandered onto the test field just as Banner started the countdown for the gamma bomb's initial test detonation, the scientist rushed out to the area to warn Jones, but the foreign agent purposefully continued the test. The bomb exploded, bathing Bruce Banner in its radiation. Incredibly, he survived the detonation, but later in the evening transformed into a large, green, man-like monstrosity dubbed a Hulk by one of the base's soldiers. Ask anyone around the world what the Hulk's power is, and they'll all say the same thing: he's strong. Everyone knows that the Hulk can rip a helicopter in two or punch a hole deep into the ground, so strength is undeniably the Hulk's most well-known power. Superhuman speed. When you think of the Hulk, you think of a guy who punches stuff into the ground and lumbers around taking heavy fire while getting a little ticked off. Like any giant creature found in nature, one would understandably assume that being big and indestructible has its trade-offs. Trade-offs such as speed. But no. Not only can the Hulk destroy anything he wants, he can also absolutely demolish most superheroes in a race. He's that fast. Can leap across continents. We've seen the Hulk jump far and wide in all forms of media, and yeah, his leaping skills are impressive, but they aren't earth-shattering. At least, not unless you look at what the Hulk can do when he's really trying, the stuff that we've yet to see in a cartoon or movie. When you consider what the Hulk can really do in a single leap, then it's earth-shattering, sometimes literally. Healing and regenerating abilities, the powers just keep on coming. And apparently the creators of Hulk weren't pleased with unlimited strength, superhuman speed, and unrivaled adaptability. In order to make the Hulk truly superpowered, they decided to give him one of the more useful powers that any hero can have: superhuman healing and regenerating abilities. Can survive in space. By now you should know that the Hulk is one of the most indestructible beings on Earth, but what about outside of Earth? Since the Marvel Universe has always traditionally explored the galaxy, the Hulk has always had a big part in Marvel's space-spanning adventures, and he's aided by the fact that he can survive in space better than almost every other Avenger. Doomsday was born in prehistoric times on Krypton, long before the humanoid Kryptonian race gained dominance over the planet, about 250,000 years ago. It was at that time a violent, hellish world, where only the absolute strongest of creatures could survive. In a cruel experiment involving evolution, intended to create the perfect living being, the alien scientist Bertrand released a humanoid infant onto the surface of the planet, where he was promptly killed by the harsh environment. The baby's remains were collected and used to clone a stronger version. This process was repeated over and over for decades as a form of accelerated natural evolution. The agony of these repeated deaths was recorded in his genes, driving the creature insane and to hate all life. Although Doomsday may be a biological Kryptonian, his powers do not seem to stem from the photonucleic effect, that is, they aren't induced by exposure to the yellow sun. Doomsday's muscular density is extremely high. Doomsday's physical output and strength astronomically exceeds that of humans, and is significantly stronger than Kryptonians. The exact magnitude and exertion that he is capable of remains undefined and unclear, however he can most likely pick up multiple megatons. Despite his large size, Doomsday can move, react and respond at superhuman speeds that cannot be followed, perceived or detected by the human eye. Eventually, after he was bestowed with certain gifts, his speed grew so high that he could likely traverse around the solar system in seconds. Doomsday can resurrect himself after death, though after encountering Imperiex he needed to be cloned to be brought back to life. It is unknown if he could have regenerated from the damage dealt to him by Imperiex. Doomsday, like Superman, possesses a very high durability capacity, which can only be penetrated by other strong forces. Certain radiation exposure can harm him. Military weaponry like bombs, missiles, grenades, rockets and laser beams cannot harm Doomsday. Generally, Doomsday can sustain and maintain himself while battling, but he can still take damage and be harmed while fighting against other Kryptonians. Doomsday can recover and heal himself from any physical injury at a rapid pace. This ability is linked and connected with his reactive adaptation. He is practically immortal, and in this capacity, Doomsday does not need food, air or water to survive. His lungs have been enhanced to the point that Doomsday can breathe underwater for long periods of time.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Looking at several different key factors, experience, Doomsday's backstory puts him at several centuries old. As a child, Doomsday was always fighting to survive, while Hulk has far less experience than Doomsday. In durability, they are tied. Strength, as I've said earlier, Hulk has unlimited strength and his strength is tied to his emotions, so as he gets madder, he becomes more powerful. But in the movie Avengers, he was nerfed so much that he don't even want to turn back as Hulk. It's so frustrating to see Hulk like this. I mean, Hulk is an embodiment of destruction and fear in Marvel Universe, but he was easily beaten by Thanos, so with this, Doomsday win this fight.